All right, what's going on, everyone? No delay today. Unfortunately, I was hoping for that, but we're here, full day. So hopefully not too bad in this class. We'll watch his TED Talk after this. We'll finish it up. We got about, I think, 11 minutes. And then in this video right here, we will read the article. There are some rather difficult words. We will talk about those on Monday. We'll read the article today. There is a Google form that goes along with this. There's a PDF on Google Classroom. But when you get to the PDF, the first page is this stuff. It's like those hard vocabulary. I don't even know if they're hard, to be honest. Like, we will do 10 words from this article, and they suggested some of them, but I think they're going to be rather easy. Like, the textbook suggested them. I don't know. I don't think that'll be that hard. Like next week's vocabulary test, I think you'll do pretty well. But go past that. If you do want to use the article to complete the Google form, which I hope you will, the first thing you'll see is this, though. So it makes it look like the article's not there. And then we get to this. So that's the guy that we might recognize. Like, he looks a little bit different because this was taken, I think, shortly after he completed his run at 23. And I think when we saw him, he was in his 30s, I think. So this article is going to take place in 2013. So like 10 years ago. And that TED Talk was a few years after, I think. All right, so let's get into this article here. Barrington Irving. Hopefully that name sounds familiar. Pilot and educator. This comes from a magazine called National Geographic. If we would have read up here, it's just not that important, but let's get to the background here. One way to travel around the world is to become a pilot. In order to get a professional pilot's license, a person must be at least 18 years old, pass a written exam, and practice flying for more than 1,000 hours. Pilots need to be able to communicate clearly, solve problems, observe and react quickly, and know how to use aircraft computer and navigation systems. So from his TED Talk that we watched yesterday, like, he knew how to do all that stuff. But remember, he didn't have some of that stuff. He didn't have some of the like the weather, the de-icing, he called it, and some of the navigation systems, because he simply couldn't afford it. He knew how to use it. He just might not have it to use. And if you remember yesterday, we talked about there was a 17-year-old person. Somehow they broke his record. So there must be some loophole where you don't have to be 18, because that person did it solo around the world at 17. Anyway, that's not about him, that person. It's about Barrington Irving. Barrington Irving is very good at rising above obstacles. Literally. Raised in Miami's inner city, surrounded by crime, poverty, failing schools, he beat the odds to become the youngest person and only African-American ever to fly solo around the world. He built a plane himself, and he made his historic flight, graduated magna cum laude from an aeronautical science program, and founded a dynamic educational nonprofit. Then he turned 28. All right, nonprofit will be one of our words there. Magnum cum laude is another one from Latin. These are also some of our words, but I just don't think they're that tough, right? His message for kids: the only thing that separates you from CEOs and corner offices or scientists and labs is determination, hard work, and a passion for what you want to achieve. The only person who can stop you from doing something great is you. Even if no one believes in your dream, you have to pursue it. The secret, he believes, is having a dream in the first place. And that starts with powerful learning experiences that inspire kids to pursue careers, particularly science, technology, engineering, and math. And we actually, if you go to other schools, we don't have it here, but let me try to highlight all that. It's called STEM. You might hear about that in the high school. We just don't have it. Some schools, some middle schools will have a STEM class. It's basically combined science and math. And I don't think you had it last year. Sometimes we do have like a humanities class, which combines social studies and English. But I don't think we've had a humanities class since you've all been here after COVID. I think things changed. So many things changed after COVID. We used to have something called intramurals too. We don't have that anymore. All right, right after the blue there, make it a little bigger. This paragraph right at the top. The moment of inspiration for Irving came at age 15 while he was working in his parents' bookstore. One of their customers, a Jamaican-born professional pilot, asked Irving if he had ever thought about becoming a pilot. I told him I didn't think I was smart enough. But the next day, he gave me the chance to sit in the cockpit of the commercial airplane he flew. And just like that, I was hooked. There are probably millions of kids out there like me who find science and exploration amazing, but lack the confidence or opportunity to take the step. To follow his dream, Irving turned down a full football scholarship to the University of Florida. He washed airplanes to earn money for flight school and increased his flying skills by practicing at home on a $40 flight simulator video game. Then another dream took hold, flying solo around the world, right at the top here, just in case you lost your place. He faced more than 50 rejections for sponsorship before convincing several manufacturers to donate individual aircraft components. He took off with no weather radar, no de-icing system, and just $30 in his pocket. I like to do things people say I can't do. After 97 days, 26 stops, and a dozen thunderstorms, monsoons, snowstorms, and sandstorms, he touched down to a roaring crowd in Miami. Stepping from the plane, it wasn't all fanfare. It wasn't all the fanfare that changed my life. It was seeing so many young people watching and listening. I had no money, but I was determined to give back with my time, knowledge, and experience. He's been doing it ever since. Irving's nonprofit organization, Experience Aviation, aims to boost the numbers of youth in aviation and other science and math-related careers. Middle and high school students attend summer and after-school programs tackling hands-on robotic projects, flight simulator challenges, and flight field trips to major industry and corporations. In his Build and Soar program, 60 students from failing schools built an airplane from scratch in just 10 weeks, and then watched Irving pilot it into the clouds. All right, good place for us to stop right there. Paragraph 8. This is actually a pretty short article. We won't have any trouble finishing it on Friday, but I did want to give you a chance to at least start the Google form, finish that study guide, maybe get ready for the quiz tomorrow. So lots of time to work in class. If it looks like people don't need time to work, then we'll just go to Frank and Beans. But hopefully with the study guide, a lot of people have passed that in, by the way. And then the Google form, not too bad. I think it's like 4 questions. Probably can do 2 or 3 of them already. And then, of course, you'll have the article if you want to read ahead and do that all today. And then tomorrow, the quiz will be available for the new words. Monday, we'll be getting new words. So pretty quick turnaround for the vocabulary words. Then we might not have another one for the rest of January or so. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But all right, rest of the time, working class, maybe a little Frank and Beans. Let me know